World records have been broken this whole week on tracks and on highways.
And find out why the number 0.67 is so important.
In episode 13, this is on the overrun. Awesome. We are back. We say it every week. Well, we didn't really go anywhere. But we are here again.
So sad.
So
Anyway.
we are actually, this is not episode 12. We are doing episode 13 now because 11 part 1 and 2. So episode 12 will
It'll make
just...
sense. Done.
Yeah. We actually shot the episode 12, but unfortunately some crosswind came and just blew it away. So it never occurred. But this is episode 13 of
Yes.
On the Overrun, as we have mentioned in the
The
intro.
lucky number 13.
Yes, awesome. We have some cool chat today. Of course, some news has to be discussed. Some sentimental topics have to be chatted about. We go into conversation about some interesting and non-interesting and also
We go
very
into
irrelevant
conversation.
things. Yeah, we go into conversation. And
Okay. Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm deaf.
I was just watching a video of Mercedes, what they did with the GLE Coupe Hybrid and Supercars of London. He basically was a presenter, but every single thing was scripted. And I was like, that's probably why podcasts these days are so like relevant and there goes the mic. So relevant and also so popular is because there's no script.
Yeah.
Just because like every day on YouTube specifically you see YouTubers doing this thing and like posting awesome videos, but then in the podcast is usually where it's like, let's get real. You know, let's get a bit more personal.
Focus on it and
Yeah.
get
So
stuff sorted.
but the thing is, interesting enough for us, we didn't start off a YouTube channel. We just start by this is us, you know. So anyway, it is nice seeing you all. Just to reiterate, as I do every single week, please go give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter. That is where we are most active. Our social media links and tags are down below. This is not just for clout or street cred. This is because we actually like what we do. We love spreading the joy and the passion we have for cars, and really want you to engage with us in that. Which is also such a pleasure knowing that there are actually people who listen to us every single week,
who will connect to us and
who
have a
engage
chat.
into conversation, who engage into the similar passion. I mean, we are going to touch on it a bit later, but a lot of what we do is just trying to create joy and trying to maybe take you out of your situation, even though it might be, a bit difficult at home, or, the news isn't always as great as it used to be, or,
Stuff's going on in the world
there's a
around you, you don't know
pandemic
what
or
to-
something.
Yeah.
That's why we are a diversion, if you want to call it
A
that.
little distraction for the
A
bits
little
of the
distraction, yeah.
day where you
So
struggle to cope with
We do
certain
hope you
things.
enjoy with our irrelevant conversation. But I think we'll start off with a quite interesting question that I wanted to ask Luke. So I was
I don't know
looking
what this is,
I was
but-
looking at a picture of a 993 Carrera, but when Porsche brought out the Turbo S exclusive series, which was like top trim Turbo S, basically only a few models, new colors, new interior trims. They also brought out like a 993 Tribute or something. Classic like leather trim inside, retrimmed seats. Everything is just looks clean, pristine, new color. And I saw the steering wheel was like a leather steering wheel. And I'm quite a big fan of leather. So I wanted to ask you a question regarding interiors of cars and materials of interiors of cars.
Okay.
When it comes to steering wheels, would you prefer Alcantara or leather?
Leather.
Okay. Leather, yeah,
Mhm.
me too. I also prefer.
I just think the Alcantara will fade quicker because it's the one thing that gets used the most in a car.
Yeah,
So,
I think it does like provide definitely the necessary grip
I was
and
about
maybe
to
a bit
say
more
grip
than
as well.
leather.
Yeah.
But also I think it just, over time it does
I
fade a
think.
bit, and
it
then
all
you have to
get dirty
retrim.
easily and everything. So I
Yeah.
think leather.
Yeah,
you
that's
just
the
take
thing.
a
It
cloth
does
and-
get much more, easier dirty than leather does.
Mm.
Okay, so in terms of car interiors in general,
Mm.
a lot of people, a lot of brands specifically do like carbon fiber trim, and you pay a lot extra for it, or they do like leather trim, Napa leather, Alcantara. Like there's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
But if you had to spec your dream interior now, like what are the materials we'd find in your car?
I think exposed carbon fiber accents at certain places. So let's
Exposed
say
carbon fiber. Okay.
you split the steering wheel into, let's say, black leather, then exposed carbon fiber, maybe with some blue accents or something like that.
So like typical BMW special series.
Yeah, something like that. So you've got leather seats, but then like I would say floor liners and perhaps even nice.
I'm not very good with liquids, guys.
Like door bins, maybe split that between leather and having Alcantara on the side as well. But it will mainly be leather.
I think Alcantara on the bits that you don't necessarily touch as much will be good. But also it depends on which car you have. Like
it won't make sense, I think, in certain cars.
like your luxury daily driver, Alcantara
Wood.
won't necessarily be the best
wood,
fit. Yeah.
mahogany. Joking,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway.
mahogany, burgundy, good fits. I think for me, I'm like very the same as you are. Even me.
Yeah.
Even me. Very the same.
Even I. This is
Yeah. I think I'm very much in the same line of thought as you are.
It's one thing we agreed on. Oh my word! This is wow. Congrats, Martin.
yeah,
we are now. This is
sanitized. Just. Anyway, so I do prefer leather definitely. I'm also very much for wood. I think wooden interiors look awesome. Now and then a metallic trim also looks very good.
Yeah, that can work as well. I was about to say, if you have a metallic, like a CNC machine, nicely sanded and stuff, then it works.
If it's a sports supercar, carbon fiber is fine, but...
And glass. That's the other thing for accents.
But the thing is, like, okay, so let's take like panoramic roofs, okay? This is a massively expensive option on a lot of cars.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the GTC for Lusso, which has probably the largest piece of like glass in a car, besides for like the Tesla model.
Yeah, I was about to say Tesla probably has bigger.
But that panoramic glass, it's something like $12,000 if I'm not mistaken, which is a lot of rands. Like
I watched a documentary the other day, a quick like a mini documentary about a Chinese businessman he started his basically a new car glass manufacturing company in the States because it's cheaper now actually to produce it in the US, but still within like a year the cost of the glasses for cars and stuff it's like a fantastic business to be in for him, and they've I think doubled in size within a year. So it's very expensive, but like it's a very big business.
I think glass makes it look awesome.
Yeah, no,
but I don't know, in South Africa specifically, like it's a very hot climate. So usually you have sunny days, which is the total opposite of the UK.
Yeah.
But that's also quite like, I don't know. I know my dad specifically, he doesn't prefer like sunroofs or panoramic like glass roofs in his cars because it just gets too hot later on.
Yeah, I mean, and later at the point you get a nice little turn line here in your hand from sitting on the steering wheel and just having these massive glasses coming down. And
I'm also thinking of the McLaren Senna.
I was about to say the Senna with his doors.
I think, that was an optional extra. Yeah. But I don't think there's one Senna that is without it.
Yeah.
Which totally I agree. Like, why would you not
have the situations where, like with Shmi, when someone scraped the side of his glass panel, repair costs of that.
Yeah, that's something unbelievable.
Happy life, guys.
Yeah, because if you can't just like repair that. Like, okay, depends how big the scratch is, I guess. But that's the whole panel being replaced. Can you PPF glass? I'm not sure. I think you can. I'm not sure because I know in the PPF cars they don't PPF the windshield. Yeah. So I think
I doubted it because I think it's because I don't know. It's probably a difficult thing to do. Yeah, it might work. I don't know. We can. We've got no idea, to be honest. But if you know if it's true or not, you can leave a comment or send us a message on Instagram.
But I mean, you guys definitely. What do you prefer? In the comments.
Yeah.
What is your when it comes to your interiors of cars? What do you prefer? But also what you said now about this guy producing glass in America because it's cheaper now. So interestingly, I saw that De Tomaso. So in the previous episode, you spoke about the De Tomaso P72.
Yeah. Like the most
awesome looking car.
Best looking car. Car design of the year.
It's literally like it's a prototype mixing. Well, it's not a prototype. Well, it is now because it's not yet in production. But basically, the De Tomaso P72 is a extension and evolution of De Tomaso's previous design culture.
Stunning.
It's like taking a 250 Berlinetta, Ferrari, taking an E-Type, those kind of design language, and taking it into modern day. But anyway, so De Tomaso is shifting their production and operations to America. Whether it's for cost reasons, whether it's for operational reasons, that I don't know. But interesting, they are shifting it to America.
I think as well, with regards to regulations and stuff from different car companies, I think the States is pretty, I don't want to say open, but like it's a lot more freedom in that sense. It's not as restricted, I would say, as other parts of the world. So I think designing and stuff like that, it's a lot easier.
But also they are very much like, I don't remember if it's still like this. I don't know if it's still like this, but I know Trump, he put in some regulations some time ago when it comes to importing of cars, which makes it much more expensive to import cars from other countries. So he wants it to be built there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
He was
maybe
trying to push for.
Maybe De Tomaso is like, it will probably be more beneficial for us to
export from the States and produce inside the States.
Yeah, maybe they have quite a lot of customers in America, and then like, okay, maybe it's a bit more beneficial for us financially to build it in America and then sell it there too.
Exactly, yeah.
So maybe it's the main market they are focusing on.
We'll figure that out sooner or later.
Yeah, but in other news, SSC Tuatara. So
of course, we have to mention this.
Yes, I think by this time, it might be better of a
What episode did we talk about it last time?
So SSC Tuatara, we spoke about
episode 8 or 7.
I think it was before a guest episode.
Yeah.
I think it was like 10. I think we spoke in episode 10 about the SSC Tuatara.
I can't remember. Anyway.
So we saw the test it did against Stradman, basically. Unbelievably fast, unbelievably loud, raw, visceral experience. But anyway, yes, it did a high speed record now, and just smashed everything. Basically,
blew everything out of the water.
There is a point of view video that everyone has probably watched online, like a 2.5 minute video of that car just propelling itself to 331 miles per hour.
31 miles, 532 kilometers per hour.
Yes, 532. So, of course, that's not the speed record. The speed is the average between, back and forth, which was 360 miles per hour.
316.8.
508.
I think, it's around about
something,
there,
yeah.
just over 500
I think it was,
kilometers an hour.
Actually, I have it, I think it was 508. Let's see. 508.73 kilometers per hour average. So, of course, Bugatti already broke the 300 mile per hour barrier in the 300 plus Super Sport.
And then
SSC
just blew them out of the water.
But what is interesting of this video is when you look at the amount of time it takes to accelerate the last 40 miles per hour. So, what is the guy, Oliver James Webb, who drove this car? He said that in the last 40 miles per hour, that car accelerated from 290 to 331 in 5 seconds. I mean, okay, 40 miles per hour.
Left. I mean, he had one gear left as well.
Yeah, he still had. Yeah, he was in 6th gear. I think on 220, 230, he shifted to 6.
He shifted to the 6. It was somewhere between 230 and 250. He shifted to the 6th gear. And I mean, that alone, it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, because sometimes you get high speed records, but then the car's in its highest gear and it revs to say 12,000 or 10,000 RPM, so it just keeps on going. But here he got to 250 kilometers an hour, 250 miles an hour, and just shifted up into his 6th gear. Yeah. I mean, that's insane.
And even at as we said, he had a gear left.
Yeah.
So why he stopped at 331?
Tires,
engine components,
weather.
I know there was a crosswind. Maybe
just for safety of the driver.
Yeah, so maybe that was like, okay, stop here.
Well,
so the car can definitely go faster because it was still accelerating strong.
Yeah.
I think I watched the video of Bugatti doing 304 miles per hour, and that was, I remember, 304, I think that was was it 304? It was something over 300.
Yeah, it was just over 300. Yeah, 304.
But anyway, in that video, you could see that the last few miles per hour, that was ticking over slowly. But this thing
just kept on going.
Just kept on going.
I mean, if you haven't seen the video, go find the video and have a look at it. Yeah. I mean, it's insane.
It's unbelievable. But as you said, like probably engine components, probably tires. Yeah. There was some sort of physical restriction.
Might have even been the distance they would have been able to use because they closed down a national road.
Yeah, at Nevada, yeah.
And I think they just had a certain space, and you can't just hit the brakes at 500 and something kilometers an hour. You have to steadily decrease on power when you get to a certain point, then you can hit the brakes. So I think just the space that they had to work with might have also been like it's not enough. So maybe they'll do that next year again.
From now, I mean, I know one thing they could go do is like shorten the gear ratios to get to the top speed quicker. But I think for them, I think they achieved the goal.
Yeah, I was about to say they just blew the competition.
It was a game of top trumps and they won.
I mean, it's in the same year that Bugatti breached the 300 mile per hour. SSC was just like, hey guys, we're part of the party as well. You go. And I mean, it's a company with 2 cars. They've had 2 cars. This is his second car.
Yes, they've had the Ultimate Aero, which in its time also reached 253 miles per hour.
It was also the fastest car in the world at that time.
So actually, interesting enough, I read an article this week that Top Gear posted of the fastest road legal production cars of all time. There was about 20 cars or something.
Yeah.
But basically, it was from the start of the car with the Mercedes-Benz Velo doing 12 miles per hour to the SSC Tuatara. And I just want to quickly go through the list just to give you an indication of,
If you're wondering why I grabbed my laptop, we both have the list. We haven't really gone through it. We're just doing it real time now.
Yeah. So 1894 Benz Velo, 12 miles per hour. It literally had a 1 liter engine.
Looks great.
3.5 brake horsepower.
Daily driver. Check that steering wheel. I mean, it's like a...
Yeah, it's literally something you turn like this.
Yeah, it's like a coffee grinder we have here in the kitchen.
And then it was the Jaguar XK120.
Stunning car.
Which looked awesome. I mean, you can see the white dots, Project 7, Project 8.
It looks like it has Land Rover wheels or something.
It probably does.
It probably does.
Series 1 wheels.
This is fantastic. I love it.
Then we have the 300 SL Gullwing, 140 miles per hour, which is
one of the best looking cars ever.
It just looks awesome, but also that straight 6 did wonders. It was basically a race car, that thing. So then after that, they had the Aston Martin DB4. I know like the DB4 is extremely valuable these days, especially the DB4 GT. Like if you ever see one of those, just know you are looking at something
that you will never probably
quite
see
special.
Again.
Yeah. So
stunning car. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say that hits 141 miles per hour.
Yeah, only like 1 mile per hour.
But
greater than
1 mile per hour is still
counts.
And then we have the little BMW. I'm just joking. It's not
it's like an Alpha BMW, a long wheelbase 275.
Jaguar. No, I'm not.
It was it's a ISO Revolta Grifo A3L.
So it's the same company. Why I say BMW? It's the same company that designed that little shoebox thing that BMW had, the little bubble car.
But I see now this is also a Bertone styled GT. Licensed what? Yeah, licensed to BMW and used the money to build the Bertone style GT. Bertone being the one who designed BMWs, being the one who designed the 308 GT4 Devo.
Everything.
Of we saw last week.
Stunning car.
At, what's his name?
At Richard.
The podcast
butcher.
Richard Urison.
Shout out to the podcast butcher.
So then after that, Lamborghini Miura P400.
Stunning.
I mean, beautiful.
What can you say? Just honestly,
there are a few cars that have the look of that Miura. Yeah, transverse V12. So it like basically didn't go
it's
like
the same
this.
As the...
It went like this.
Yeah.
Also, I think the 812... No, not the 812. What do you call it? 512 Testarossa. I think they also had a transverse engine. Don't quote me on that. The next one, Ferrari, we have the 365 GTB4 Daytona.
Stunning.
Daytona, I mean, pop-up headlights, few cars that do what it does. Next car is the 288 GTO.
One of the best looking cars.
So
makes me think of the Lancia
Stratos.
I think so. Yeah, I just have to make sure. Yeah, that
the Stratos, the rally car.
Yeah,
no,
that shape, the wide,
but just the girth, the wide hips. Yeah, everything really looks awesome. So after the GTO, the Porsche 959. Just to give you some insight, the Porsche 959 was the epitome of technology in cars.
It's a 037. That's what it is. It's not the Stratos.
Oh,
037. That's what it makes me think of.
Yes, I see it now. Definitely.
We'll put a picture up for you to see. Don't worry.
So the Porsche 959, this was technology in cars at its finest. Like the kind of technology it had in its engine, like
everything was just
flat 6 turbocharged power plant, did unbelievable times.
Mm.
Did 197, so didn't break the 200 miles per hour. But then the Ferrari F40 broke the 200 miles per hour.
Yes,
and
man.
did it in 202.
Yes, you
So
had a stunning,
I mean,
stunning car.
all of you would
You
have
obviously know.
known. Yeah, known.
No.
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 The F40.
No.
The F40 would have probably been your dad's poster car or your poster car if you are the dad.
Exactly.
But unbelievably sleek lines, super light race car inspired
Massive square
V8.
wing.
A turbo that like basically it is the dictionary definition of what turbocharging should be.
Yeah.
Like it's that, cruise 2,000, 3,000 rev and then suddenly you just take off as the turbo spools up.
The best form of turbo lag you'll ever get in a good way.
That's the good kind of turbo lag.
Yeah. Unlike
Then
Jeeps.
the Bugatti EB110 GT.
A car that not a lot of people know about.
A bit of forgotten Bugatti.
And also a lot of similar styling elements to the SSC Ultimate Era.
Yes, the Ultimate Era. Yeah. From the side, definitely you can see it.
Can see that.
That did 209,
Stunning car
3.5 liter.
as well.
Yeah, it was a 3.5 liter quad turbo V12.
And what's the new Bugatti that they released that had the same styling at the back?
Oh, the Cento DAC.
I'm not even going to try and
Yeah.
pronounce that, but
That thing.
also pays a bit of homage to this design.
8.6 million pounds, I think.
Don't even just stay away.
Yeah, so I think it was like maybe 1 of 100 cars. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something very limited.
Yeah.
So after that,
One
the
of the best looking
XJ220.
Jaguars ever.
So we posted about this some time ago on our social media. This car was supposed to be a 6.5 liter V12 race-inspired car. It was basically like everyone wrote blank checks and said, yeah, just, whatever you want to ask for it, I want it. Then things went a bit wrong because there wasn't a solid budget for it. Whereas like something like the F40 had a solid budget, saying that this was the brief and this is what we want to achieve. But this thing was like a weekend project. Then unfortunately turned into a 3.5 V6. Twin turbo, of course. But I mean,
same as an Nissan GTR, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously not the same engine.
Yes.
3.5 litres.
Same layout. So you'd see a lot of space in the engine bay for 6.5.
Hoping that they could put the 6.5 in.
Actually, one day if someone maybe did, put a V12 in.
Gordon Murray V12 and stick it in an XJ220.
Would have been cool. But 230 miles per hour, quite a big push. Also, for a brief second in history, the XJ220 also held the Nürburgring lap record. Interesting enough.
And speaking about Gordon Murray, the next one that we have is the McLaren F1, 1993, 240.
No introduction needed.
3-seat mono.
I mean, absolutely smashed that record by far.
Yeah,
I mean, it literally, it's 1 year after the XJ220 broke the record. The McLaren F1 broke the record by, 27 miles per hour? Unbelievable. So
insane.
I mean, 6.1 liter BMW developed V12. I mean, guys, I don't need to tell you any more.
First carbon fiber production.
No, unbelievable. 3-seater, central driving position.
BMW.
Cost like 14 million pounds these days.
It's one of the most.
Can't even convert in rands.
Yeah.
But interesting. That car took a long time. Well, it took quite some time for someone to break the record of the F1.
It stood for a very, very long time.
F1 broke the record in 93. Next car, the Bugatti Veyron broke the record in 2005. 12 years. Usually it was like 1 year, 5 year increments, 2 year increments. But
12 years it waited for the next car.
Then Bugatti Veyron broke it, 253 miles per hour.
8 litre W16.
1,001 horsepower. The legend.
Hectic
and then
stuff.
the SSC Ultimate Aero.
That we
broke
spoke
the record
about,
of 256. Also twin turbo V8. Something like 1,300 horsepower, which is just over 1,000 kilowatt.
Stunning car as well.
Then the Bugatti Veyron Super Sport basically pushes the envelope.
Horrific orange color, anyway.
So
just opinion, but
it got a bit like, I think it increased by 150 kilowatt from the normal, if you want to call it normal Veyron, and then absolutely smashed the record.
Horsepower extra
by quite some margin. I mean, the SSC Ultimate Aero didn't do 56, the Veyron Super Sport do 67, and then we have the Lotus Elise actually breaking the elongated Lotus Elise with the name of Hennessy Venom GT. Broke that record by 3 miles per hour.
Which is insane. I mean,
and that record actually stood for some time also.
A 7-liter twin turbo V8.
Yeah, no, that's American.
7-liter. I
That's
mean, I was about to say that screams American all over. There's no way to get around that.
I mean, NSC, of course, they're building the Venom F5 at the moment,
which is not as stunning as this car, but still, I mean, it's also.
Do you like this car more than?
I like this
Really?
One. Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for
I
this.
beg to differ.
It's fine. You see, we don't agree on everything.
But I mean, they've taken their time with the F5. We haven't really heard anything from it in the past few years because I think I think their goal was initially to break the 300 miles per hour, and then suddenly the world just overtook them, and now NSC is just continually building trackhawks.
Yeah, basically.
And elephant engined gladiators, you know. But anyway, yes, after the NSC Venom GT, let's see how many years after. It's 3 years after. Koenigsegg Agera RS.
277.
So this Agera RS has been in the it's been in production for quite some time, a very limited run, but then they're like, well, we might as well go break the record, you know, close the highway, didn't even take a track, basically closed the highway, went up and down, casually did 277 as an average.
And does the RS also have the 0 to 400 to 0 record?
So Bugatti, I remember the Chiron came out, broke the record. And then I think it was like 39 seconds for 0 to 400 kilometers per hour to 0.
To 0 again.
But then the Agera was like, well, we might as well do that too, and basically broke it by 5.5 seconds. So shame Bugatti hasn't had a good 5 years.
Yeah, I was about to say
that's why they're bringing out 15 million versions of the Chiron.
And one-offs for customers that you'll never be able to buy anyway.
Speaking of Bugatti
Chiron.
The Bugatti Chiron, but of course this is not just a normal Chiron. This is a bit of an elongated, bit of a stripped out, bit of a wasn't the production car at that time, Bugatti. So they call it the 300 plus, and it did 304 miles per hour. But it wasn't a legit record because they didn't go 2 ways, only went 1 way. And as we said, like even with the foot pinned to the ground and going as fast as possible, the Bugatti Chiron was only like climbing small steps to 304.
Yeah.
Not like the SSC, which is of course the next car, the Tuatara, which just smashed that record.
With the V8, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, you might differ from me, but doesn't the rear end of the SSC Tuatara with the wing flaps things doesn't it look like some anime cat? Like, I actually need to show you a photo, but not just anime. It looks like a transformer. Like it.
Yeah,
looks
it's
like,
just little.
It just reminds me of something.
Wait. I'm gonna see if I can find this, but I'm not gonna say anything because I think I have the name extremely wrong.
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll try and find that. But anyway, there's a brief history of cars and the fastest cars ever.
Yeah.
And now, the question stands like. Amazing engineering feat has been shown by SSC and Bugatti and Koenigsegg by breaking these records and just achieving ludicrous speeds.
It makes me think of that little 2 wings on the side, but this is just going
the
in.
FXXK.
Yes, but where the FXXK goes in, Tuatara goes out.
Go search the Jesco Absolute.
Oh yeah,
because that's the same kind of rear.
Yeah, I know.
Flaps, but. So, the Jesco Absolute still has to break the record.
The other thing, we're waiting for that and for the
Evija. But I don't know if that's going for top speed.
Probably not, but still.
I don't know. See. We are still waiting for electric car to show us some like real speed, not just acceleration. Okay, well, IDR and some other cars have shown us good speed, but
but not top speed.
Not like world record.
Yeah, speed. Like where these cars fall into the category. It's not that kind of thing. For that, I would say.
But as I said, like it's all good and well, and I'm so glad that they've broken the record, and it really doesn't change much in my life. But let's just like think about like what's the point of breaking these records? Like these days, you aren't going to go 331 miles per hour on the road. Like when you buy this car, you aren't going to use 2/3 of that car's top speed of what it is capable of. It's more of a my car can do this, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's more this boys club fighting thing of showing I'm better than you. Basically, it's a little competition between car manufacturers that they just
This
got
arm
going
wrestle.
on. Basically, yeah, it's an arm wrestle competition between
Yeah.
big names. And I mean, like, the second car that this company produces, and then they're like, we're going to beat the top speed now. And this is that. Okay, great. Now we've done that. So what's the next thing? Okay, no. Bugatti's going to bring something new. Okay, maybe Lotus has packed a new punch or whatever they're going to do. This whole thing of where do you go from this? Because like you said, what's the point of getting a car like this? You're not going to go 300 miles an hour down any stretch of road. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're some psycho or something. You're not going to smash this around a track because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Unless you own half of Cape Town or whatever. And you have that kind of money, but it's still like that kind of thing. It's once
Yeah.
a car.
I think this car's also super, like, if you just look at how long it is, the elongated nose, the rear end, it's just made for top speed. So, practically speaking, you can take it on a track, probably won't be that great.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there a point in these days still going for those records and stuff?
I mean, I would rather have a wood-fended Porsche than one of these.
It just makes me think of, so remember when the Holy Trinity hypercars came out in 2013, 2014? So the P1, the LaFerrari, and then the 918.
Yeah.
All of them were the high end, the upper echelon of what cars could do. As we explained, hypercars is basically like, this is what cars are going towards, and this is what we are able to do at the moment. So electric motors with, combustion engine, high powered, very efficient, race-like combustion engines, the best of the best technology. Just take the 918. I mean, unbelievable technology that it's shown, and it did amazing. I remember it did like 659 in the Nürburgring, which was awesome.
Yeah.
But now, what holds the Nürburgring lap record now is this week the AMG GT Black Series broke the record. So with 643, that's 16 seconds faster than the 918 did it. And it costs a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
It has same displacement without the electric motors. I think, it has 250 watt horsepower less. No, wait, 700. Yeah, it's about 200 horsepower. Yeah, 250 horsepower less than the P1. I remember when the 720S came out. I'm sorry, I'm 918, not the P1. But I remember when the 720S came out. That was really like almost as quick as the P1 on most tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically almost took 918s in drag races. It just goes to show that technology and engineering evolves so quickly these days.
You can't keep up because it just keeps on going and going. When something is settled in and it's got like it's backing behind it,
that's
there
why
you go.
NSC, the small company, is trying to get the world speed record. Wanted to break 300 miles per hour. Well, two manufacturers already did it.
Yeah.
Koenigsegg is definitely still going to do it too.
Yeah, I was about to say, and now it's just this whole thing, and adding to that of having a record, and then as soon as it's there, the new runner-up is already heading for it and getting ready to go into that thing. And I'm thinking now of this interesting 0.67 number that you have with the Bugatti.
They said about that.
It's an interesting thing because they spotted it. Where was it seen?
Paul Ricard
circuit, yeah.
In France, yeah.
Camouflage, the most vicious design on a car.
Yeah,
I've seen it looks awesome. It looks fantastic. It's absolutely stunning. Direct thinking that we've got very limited information on the car. There's a video. The sound you get makes it sound like it's the same 8 liter.
Well, yeah, 8 liter W16 quad turbo
engine.
Maybe electric motor added
to that,
sense.
yeah. And we've got no idea what the 0.67 stands for. If that's power to weight or
the thing is, like, you can take. Let's take a process of elimination. So it won't be a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time.
No,
because it's not a spaceship. It won't be a drag coefficient because that would be very non-aerodynamic.
Yeah.
I mean, what else could it stand for? Like, I know Shmi, when he posted it on Instagram, he said like weight to power ratio.
You know
being
what this
more than
could
6.
also possibly be is I'm thinking of the Gordon Murray, the V12 that he helped design with who was it with? I can't remember anyway. But
T50?
yeah, I'm talking about the T50 engine, but the quickest response. It could be response time on
Could be.
revs
So
counting up to
It
top
could be anything, but at the moment, we think it could be a weight to power ratio, meaning that basically it has 2/3 of the weight in relation to the power that it has. So let's say it has 1,000 horsepower. That means it weighs 670 kilograms, which is above comprehension.
This car will fly.
But I mean, there is also talks of Nürburgring lap times that
That's the other
Bugatti
thing, yeah.
Bugatti is slowly but surely going towards lap times these
Yeah, I
days,
think-
because Chiron was always like, ride like a Golf and go as fast as a Bugatti can. But now Chiron Sport, Chiron Per Sport, the track
I
focus.
think they're moving away from hitting the top speed and going for
a bit
track.
more diversity.
Yeah, I was about to say not having this massive bulky thing that is fantastic at 300 miles an hour, but rather have something that's great at 150 miles an hour, at 210 miles an hour.
I mean, okay, Chiron is meant to do anything. Like
yeah.
when the Veyron was designed, the design brief was unbelievably difficult because it had to do so much. It had to have such a great, range of capabilities. But now the Chiron, this is kind of the same thing. It is just evolution of that, and like we haven't driven it, of course.
Yeah,
But of what we've heard, it does everything so
and like
greatly.
the pure sport as well.
So what Bugatti is basically trying to do now is they're saying, okay, listen, we have this amazing platform, the Chiron, an engine, the W16, and
With how many radiators?
4. No, wasn't it like 8 to 12?
It's
something unbelievable.
12 radiators on an engine.
But yeah, so unbelievable stats. But basically, I think they're seeing that we have quite a diversified customer base. We have people with money who'd like to buy cars, hence bring out the Sport, the Devo, the Per Sport and such.
And I mean, when we went to Cape Town, when the Chirons and the Veyrons came down to Cape Town, we saw it. These cars are small. I mean,
the thing is,
they're a lot smaller than you think they are.
Yeah,
because you see them and you think, "Whoa, okay, this is
big
a
and
massive
bulky
thing." And you get there and this thing is like, I don't want to say you see Volkswagen.
I think you definitely, like, there are smaller supercars, like supercars.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying, in relation to what you think and the size of the engine and everything,
especially
it's just
for us, like,
it's so weird. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's a car that's meant to be as capable as it can possibly be.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Trying to do but anyway,
this new 6-7 the videos we've seen from the testing and camouflage and stuff, thinking it will be in direct competition with the Project One, AMG Project One, and the Valkyrie.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I think it. Well, of what the photos we saw now in the video, if you look at the tires, it doesn't seem like road tires. It seems like racing slicks. But I mean, that's only something that we could deduce. But we saw a post on Instagram of Misha Sheridan, I don't know, from Apex Nürburgring, and he said, like, the talks of Nürburgring times says like sub 6 minutes, and that just goes to show it probably won't be a road car, which makes sense. Koenigsegg is I think it's probably one of the only car manufacturers that created a car with a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio called the 1-to-1. So I don't think this is going to be road car. It will be able to achieve those times with normal road tires. Doesn't matter how good
just
the
all the
pilot
specs,
scored
everything else on it, just the way it's designed, it doesn't look like it'll be on the road.
So, and also the current Nürburgring lap record, like full out, like non-production
no restrictions,
car, is 6:11, which is the Porsche 919 tribute car, which is basically a Mans car. And if you look at this, we also spoke like, wow, maybe Bugatti in Le Mans, like I mean,
that could be interesting. Getting their steps back into racing.
But I mean, it does seem like that kind of car or format of car. So I think they're going for full out Nürburgring lap record time.
Yeah.
They designed the best car they could possibly can.
And it's again this thing of having arm wrestling with other car manufacturers, because now if they're building a car just to break the Nürburgring lap record, I mean,
that's not like it needs to sell, we need to make money. That's like, we have money.
Let's do something to prove to the world that we have like, although we've
because
lost a bit
they
in the
can't take
past
the
now.
speed now. Like
Yeah.
they're not going to win the speed record.
Yeah, they won't be able to now at this point
And
unless
I
they
think it's
develop
not-
another engine,
Yeah.
and they won't be able to unless they buy something in and then they redesign the whole thing that they've been doing for years.
Yeah.
Because the W16 engine is very heavy. I mean, it's a big thing that you have to work with.
Yet
So
again, for what
maybe
it has to
they'll
achieve.
make a new Chiron with 8 turbos instead of 4. And I don't know, whatever. Well,
Yeah, so I think Bugatti is in a phase where they'd like to.
or they'll take some Volvo truck turbos and stick it on a Chiron. Maybe that can work. You know, like a turbo like this.
I think they already have a lot of like big turbos. But yeah, so I think, as we said now, what the Chiron is meant to do and what Bugatti wants to do with his cars, maybe Bugatti is trying to shift what people think Bugatti is to just like super speed, you know, and trying to shift the identity in people's head, or the perception, the conception we have of Bugattis, doing a bit more, basically saying that we are the most capable,
And
you know,
it's about
in-
capability of stepping into a new section where they haven't really been for a long time. I mean, obviously Bugattis used to race a lot in like earlier years, but
now
then
going
they-
back to that track history.
going back to their former history and showing, like you said, they are capable of everything in the motoring world. And I mean, that's
Yeah.
great. If they can do that, it's awesome. I mean,
And it's not a bit about
great for
necessarily-
Volkswagen. I mean, for Bugatti,
Yeah, Volkswagen.
Volkswagen anyway.
But it's not about. It's not a good one.
Good one.
It's not about being the go-to track car,
Yeah.
you know, or the go-to luxury car, go-to speed car. Like if you go into the track and you have money, you'll take a GT3 RS, or you know, if you are focused on that kind of thing. But it just, they want to show like, listen, what we put our head to, we can do. We have the greatest breadth of ability for high-end supercars.
And we got the money, man.
We've got the money.
Show us the money.
We've got the money.
Yeah. So
They've got the money to spend, to work on, to work from. But yeah, so interesting. Excited to see where Bugatti is going.
Yeah, stunning car once again.
Bit confusing
X-Wing.
now and then with all the car models they have, but
Yeah.
flip
Go
it.
for
I
it.
really hope you break the Nürburgring record, because that's apparently what everyone's
Still
going for
less
these
car
days.
models than Porsche, so it's fine.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, Porsche's, of course, the better car. Depends what they're looking for.
Anyway,
But yeah,
I
so
think
we
to cover the last section quickly is just to
might as well shift to a PT Cruiser segment, but then
go into
Yeah.
what else we saw.
what else we
including-
want to do. So we spotted a few interesting cars this week, and we might as well include it into a PT Cruiser segment.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I'll start us off. So I saw quite a few interesting cars this week, but one car that I was absolutely fascinated by, and I'll mention the other car now, is a 993 Carrera. So just to inform you a bit, of course 993 is a model code like F80 M3 kind of thing.
that.
But the 993 Carrera, yes, like, I mean, isn't this just like, it's so small, so compact, just suits a 911 identity perfectly. But it's the last of the air-cooled Porsches. So you get air-cooled, you get water-cooled engines, water-cooled being more efficient, more effective in cooling the engine, more power, whatever. So this is a large air-cooled engine. A lot of popularity and fame around this car, specifically for what it represents, being the last of the air-cooled, and arguably being a better sports car than the 996, its successor. So with the water-cooled engines, they included IMS bearings, intermediate shaft bearings, basically turning the, well, I had it now, it was basically turning the crankshaft or the flywheel through the crankshaft, something like that. Anyway, it breaks and it causes problems. Air-cooled engines don't have that problem. So that's why there's so much fame around the Carrera, the 993 Carrera also, but also just how it looks, what it represents. So sleek, so simple. The turbo looks awesome with that whale tail wing coming up. So 3.6 liter air-cooled flat six. Just, I mean, yeah, it represents what I like about Porsches, what I like about cars.
I just needed to be more fat.
That's the thing.
I
You
need
can have the
bulk.
turbo. You can have the turbo.
No, I just need body. That's
Yeah,
the issue.
you can take the turbo from there. I'll take the more simple design.
Like you said, it's a great car, and the engine and everything is fantastic, and everything it stands for.
Have you
is
seen the
great.
brake light? Doesn't that remind you of the 992?
It does. Yeah. So I think
that's
it's
what you need. The
just need a
turbo.
bit more bulkiness, like
Yeah, I know.
Porsches that speak to me, like the Speedster and stuff like that. It's just everything is just
Okay, let
heavier.
me show you what you
So-
need. But yeah, tell me what you.
But
tell me what you think.
yeah, so just based on like most of you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Porsche.
Are
so-
you ready? Okay, wait. Let me just get an image. So I'm showing you the 993 Carrera RS Club Sport.
That's nice.
Do
That
you
works.
see?
That works nicely.
Do you see?
But I'll still take it to RWB just for a bit of extra
No,
love.
that's fine. I can take RWB.
Any day.
Yeah.
Any day. But yeah, I think for PT Cruiser, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's,
why
that's
not?
good.
Why not? It's very
I'm
cute.
gonna do something that's the most predictable thing I can possibly do, and the PT Cruiser that I have today is the
PT
Yeah.
Cruiser. I'm joking.
PT Cruiser. Our neighbors have a PT Cruiser. I realized that I was walking past there, and I saw the PT Cruiser in silver standing there with
Oh, please
a
not.
nice set of mags. The X7 M50i,
Okay.
the biggest.
I've seen one of.
Is dat die vorige een of hierdie ene? All right.
Sorry, I thought it wasn't recording.
We thought for a second we lost the recording there. Anyway, that's awkward.
Okay, X7.
Yeah, X7. It's the biggest monstrosity of a BMW you'll ever see.
Would you take the X7 M50 D or would you take the X5M?
X5M.
Yeah, no.
I will probably just
The thing-
because it's
X7 is just
like the X7 is big and bulky and it's got a powerful engine and obviously it has the power and everything that you have behind the BMW. It's
And
practical for your
size.
family.
Oh,
But the
it's
size,
big.
I mean, I think it was the same day we went and saw the Chirons and the Veyrons. There was a brand new X7 standing at the side of the
Yes,
hotel.
yes, I
In
remember.
silver. And I mean, I saw the new Defender the other day as well in person, and the X7
Massive.
is bigger than the Defender.
And the Defender is massive.
that thing is huge. I mean, it's bigger than the Discovery, and then the BMW is bigger than the Defender. I mean, it's getting to a size where it's a bit impractical. But like I said, it's luxury at its finest. It's powerful. It's stunning for me. But yeah, just the size is the biggest thing I would say that's an issue
Okay.
on that car. Great
Yeah.
sound as well. I mean,
But
the sound on those.
really think it looks good for such a big car. Like
it
the
carries
lights
its weight
and the grill, like alone, the grill's big, but it has to be big for
Yeah.
that car. So I really,
carries its weight.
I'm
It's fine. Yeah, if you don't.
let me.
Well, between
Okay,
the X5,
do you know? Yeah, actually, do you know? Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
I think
if,
it's cool.
if you say that the X7 is like but then you say the X5 is like that.
The thing is, no, I do agree.
Mm.
But in that kind of price range, might as well go for G63.
That's also the other side of things because the G63 would be
yeah.
more capable.
But the thing is, I think the X7
Or
is more
RSQ8 or
practical
something.
inside because it has more space.
Yeah, 7 seats and you
For
can
some reason, the
configure it in 222
G63
or
The G63 is a bit like it doesn't have as much boot space because of the intruding arches. I don't know. Anyway,
weird stuff.
but yeah, I do kind of like it. But another car to mention, and this one also quite grabbed you. And yes, it has to be a Porsche. I never thought I would see this car like unless I was like part of this supercar club or whatever. But just straight after I saw a black 993 Carrera, I was driving and I saw this Miami blue Porsche coming up, lights on. I thought maybe I've seen like a 718 Boxster Spider in that kind of look and color, but I saw it at the GT grill. So the GT grill at the front, you can just think of how the GT3 looks. And I was like, okay. And I drove past and I saw it was a 911 Speedster. And okay, 1,900 and something made in the world, which is also quite a lot. And I've seen the red one in South Africa. Oh, well, I know of the red one.
Yeah.
But this Miami blue one was just beautiful. Super sunny day, top down. This guy was just chilling.
Perfect with his.
And what was so interesting, what I observed was that I know the GT products, like the GT3, GT3 RS, those cars are loud. But that car, like, yes, like slightly above idle, it was still very, very raw. So maybe that guy put on another exhaust or something, but it was loud. Like that
can
thing
hear it
was ready
properly.
to just go.
Yes.
So yeah, I saw that car. So just for interest sake, basically this is a Porsche GT3 with a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat six with about 500 horsepower, 375 kilowatt. And unbelievably beautiful for a top-down car with these like rear haunches at the back. Yes, it looks awesome. So that was such a privilege to see that car also, because I never really thought I would see one on the road, especially now, like not being in that kind of circles. So yeah, that was special.
I saw the other day as well. I was doing a delivery for work, and I the first time I saw the BMW Z4 was on a delivery truck when someone took delivery of a X7, and then a Z4 behind each other, one in pitch black and one in like that BMW blue. And I was driving on the road, and I saw these like white LED running lights and this silver grille behind me. That was all I saw. And this little black car coming. And from far, I thought, hey, is this a AMG GT or something for a second? Then I looked, and then I saw the grille was split in the middle. I said, no way.
BMW.
And it came past, and it was a brand new, no plates yet or anything, pitch black Z4.
Was the M40i?
M40i,
Of course, this is like the Supra sister.
Yeah, it's basically the Supra. It just looks better.
It really does look good. Actually,
it was the
for such a small sports car.
Soft top. It was, and it looks stunning. I mean, it's a proper. They've really done well with the designing of this little machine.
Yeah.
Great thing to see on the road.
Yeah.
First time seeing one on the road as well, so it was really little stunning pocket rocket.
Yes.
Good
Awesome
experience. Yeah.
Okay, are you ready to ride the Speedster?
Ready to ride the Speedster.
Okay. Ready to ride the Z4?
This is a great PT Cruiser segment today.
Dead average, by the way. Dead average was Z4.
Nah, I think it's still. Anyway.
Yeah, but
life goes on.
Yeah, life goes on. You're right.
Exactly.
Anyway, we don't have any of those cars, so we do right.
Exactly.
I'm joking. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was such a fun, just conversational one.
Yeah, having a little chat about stuff.
Really didn't have as much of a plan. Just knew we had to chat about some things that happened this past week and such. But we are excited to release next week's episode also, as we go to a guest. We are in a new venue.
It's going to be an interesting one.
It's going to be quite a cool one. So please join us. Please share this videos. We'd love for you to like it, to comment.
Yeah.
We know a lot of you watching without subscribing. Maybe hit that subscribe button. And just share the joy.
Yeah.
And remember, just love cars, because
it's cheaper than drugs.
It's cheaper than drugs. All right.
There we go. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.